What's up, you guys? Danger Rock here. Today we're going to be looking at the Eon Kid Power Punchin Marty action figure. This action figure is from a very old cartoon, which was very short-lived, which aired between 2007 and 2008 on Kids WB. And it was one of my favorite shows that started off a Saturday morning growing up. And when I saw that they made action figures of this series and these characters, I was like, I definitely want to get these. I mean, I saw toy commercials for them back in the day, but I was never able to find them in stores. But thanks to the power of eBay, I was able to find one to review for you guys. And if somebody were to come across this figure, like out in the wild or something somewhere, and they just see like this armored looking guy, I mean, they would probably think it's Iron Man or something, which internationally they did call this show Iron Kid, which is something that was really interesting. It was a series that I really enjoyed, and I wish it would have gone on a little bit longer. But right here, I'm going to be reviewing this figure today and comparing him to another figure that was also in the same line of toys. But this figure was released by Playmates in 2007. Right here, you can see a year at the bottom right there. It's actually really nice. And he's super well articulated. I actually really like the articulation and the detail they put on this guy. Just starting off with this helmet right there. I mean, if I was a kid and I just watched this show on a Saturday morning, and then I saw this like on a peg at Toys R Us, just hanging on the shelf, I was like, I would definitely have to get that. And mint on card, these guys are a little bit expensive depending on which figure it is. And when you find them loose, they include his iron fist, but they don't actually include the part with the fist. So parts do get lost. This guy would have came with one of those like practice dummies you can fire the fist at. But the way it works is there's this little button right here. You press it, and the fist comes right out. So what you could do is you just plop it right inside like that, and that looks really cool. So I also really like the metallic red and silver they decided to use for this. I think it turned out really clean. Also, the yellow right here on the top of his helmet came out really clean as well. Now, in terms of articulation for this guy, you can fully rotate his head, a full 360. It only hinges up and down a little bit. You can see a ball joint right here, depending on how far up you move it. The torso doesn't move at all. Arms can fully rotate. They go up and down, in and out. They bend at the elbows, and they swivel at the wrists. Legs kick outward that far. They actually bend at the knees pretty well. They don't move at the feet or in his toes whatsoever. But you can get him almost to do a split like that. It's not going to keep you from getting this guy in some really nice poses. So, also, just looking at it, his helmet, I feel like that's what makes this figure stand out to me, is the incredible amount of detail that they included on a figure that's this small in size. So I'm actually very happy they went along and did that. And what I do have as far as comparisons go is the first figure I actually picked up from that line was actually at a toy shop. Here we have the BattleBot Marty right here with his helmet and everything, his iron fist. This one I would say is less posable compared to this one. But if we put these two guys right next to each other, you can definitely tell that they're the exact same character. Which another thing we could do is we put this guy right here, and let's press the button on his fist right here. Yeah, it doesn't actually shoot out that far if you're that close to it. So if we try that again, hold on, now it's stuck. It didn't actually knock him down, but at the same time, it did move it a little bit. So there was also another figure right in this line, which was interesting, where his fist was blue. It was called Battle Damaged Marty, which his armor was all like battle damaged and stuff. So that was another interesting one. I haven't gotten that one yet, but I actually do plan on tracking that down in the future. And, you know, one of my favorite parts of the show was like when, you know, he finds an iron fist, it gets stuck to his arm, and then right out in the wild, it acts up and it turns into this like armor that completely surrounds him that he can't really control at first, but he was the heir of Eon from the Eon family. So it was kind of interesting how that whole series kind of played out. So I was actually really interested, and it was like every episode kind of ended on a cliffhanger. So you had to wait till next Saturday to see what would happen next. Like I said, it was one of those very few series that I really wish would have continued, but at least during the time it was short-lived, we were able to get these cool action figures from it. So, yeah, I mean, I mainly collect comic book stuff. I collect some Disney, but it's always nice to have like different things in your collection, especially when you have something cool that looks like this. One thing I'm going to try not to do is put them on the shelf with my Iron Man figures, because if people look at it, they're just going to think it's an Iron Man figure, but it's not, and I feel like it was really unique for its time. So, yeah, this has been a little different review today, a different change of pace for things, but this has been my review of the Eon Kid Power Punchin Marty action figure by Playmates. If you like this video, please leave a like. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Let me know in the comment section down below, what do you think of this figure? Do you think this was a unique show for this time? And was this figure cool to add to your collection? I really look forward from hearing from you guys. Thank you all for watching as always. And I'll see you guys on the next video review.